So who picked up another collection just like 3 days before New York Comic Con? I did. Let's see what I got up next on this video from Bronzeville Comics. Just picked up another collection. A friend of the channel, somebody I know through the community, they reached out to me. We have some really cool, like silver. That's not the silver. Silver's I guess in this box, but some keys, some silver. We needed a little bit of cash for something that came up, and we were able to figure it out. So let's go through. We can go through the whole collection in one fell swoop. Hey there, panelologists. This is Jim from Bronzeville Comics coming to you with another video. And welcome. Pull up a chair, get comfortable, join us for this ride. I'd like to thank everyone for stopping by. And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Also give us a like and a follow and all that good stuff. Follow us on the other socials, Bronzeville_Comics on Instagram, also on Whatnot. We do Monday night, 10 p.m. Eastern time. We do sales on Whatnot. If you've not yet signed up, you can use the link in the description of this video and get $10 off your first purchase. Coming up on Monday, October 30th, we're going to be doing our Bronze Age Horror Night. So make sure you bookmark that show. And also in the link of this video is, or in the description of this video is a link to my eBay store as well as my email. So member of the community that I know, he's bought books from me. We've seen each other at shows and different events. Lives like essentially next town over. He got in touch with me and was looking to move some books. So sent me some pictures, a list. We agreed on a price, and we met up for the books. And it was the weekend, so I really didn't have, and it was a long weekend. I didn't have the opportunity to go to the ATM, but fortunately, I checked like the cash box that I'd used at shows, and there was cash in there. So I grabbed the collection, and let's see what I got. So welcome back to Bronzeville World Headquarters. The collection came in these two shopping bags. So I'm going to go through this one first. We'll go through each of the books. There aren't a lot, so it's a nice kind of powerful collection, I'd say, because you're dealing mostly with keys. Here we have a X-Men 120, first cameo appearance of Alpha Flight in a 7.5. Okay. And another slab, a New Teen Titans 2. First time I've ever had this in a slab. I do have a raw copy in the PC. 8.0 white pages, first Deathstroke. It is a newsstand. Not a big deal from 1980. So those two slabs are probably both about $100. Then, I'm not sure about this. This is what, Power Ranger stuff? Some Virgin variants. That is not my area of expertise. Let's just fold this down. So X-Men 197, nice Doom cover. This is a nice little key. I think I'm going to hold on to this, put it in a spec box. It is Demon number 7, first Clarion the Witch Boy. Never know. X-Men 159. Sienkiewicz cover. Cool. New Mutants Annual 2. First appearance of Psylocke. Nice. This I don't know much about, but then we got a couple of Ahsoka books. Ahsoka and Padme. Have to look these up. Some sort of Ahsoka Virgin cover. Then this I am familiar with. This is, I think, Dark Horse Presents 24. Is that the first Aliens in Dark Horse Presents? This I know. There are two covers to this, and they're both here. Dark Horse Presents number 36. This is the first Aliens versus Predator. This is a book that is just crashed in value. These Gleason Webhead variants. X-Force 2. Couple of copies of Terminator, or 3 copies of Terminator number 1. This is not a bad book. Machine Man number 1. I'm going to have to check the grades on these, you know, the conditions. We have Dark Knight book 3 and book 4. Good stuff there. 300 issue 1. This is the trade variant, and this is the Virgin. Johnny Desjardins cover. It's a Whatnot exclusive. I'm not sure these have a ton of value, but here we go. This is kind of the linchpin because we have some early X-Men in pretty nice condition. Yeah, that's a pretty solid copy. I'm gonna have to take a close look at these. Number 21. Let me just go to my, because this era of X-Men, I'm not totally familiar with the keys. So let's take a look. I'll just bring up some key collectors so I know that, because there are going to be some first appearances of minor villains. Unfortunately, I think by this point in X-Men history, Kirby was no longer working on the book, and I think a lot of the creativity kind of went with him. 22. '23. Lower grade. 36. First appearance of Meccano. And not a big book. 37. 38. Oh, no, I'm sorry. 52 we jumped to. And then Journey into Mystery, number 96 and 98. 106. 108. Nice Magneto cover. 109. 111. 113. 117. 122. 123. 124. Is this? No, I don't think that's the first. 125. Amazing Spider-Man 47. That's a book that's heating up lately. Craven appearance. Avengers, number 21. This is the first appearance of Power Man. Number 27. Number 40. It's a Mariner appearance. Number 45. Number 52. It looks pretty nice. It's the first Grim Reaper. I think, did we get a casting for that character in the Wonder Man series? Who knows? It's still a ways off at this point. A couple of Betty Page 3D picture books. Okay. This is magazine size, I'm not sure about those. Another slab. It's a 9.6. God Country, third printing. So that's the first bag. Let's take a look at this second bag. And we got a couple keys off the bat. Of course, Fantastic Four 66, The Origin of Him. 67, kind of a cameo appearance of him. Dazzler number 1. Pretty sharp copy. That's the error print. Spider-Gwen Shadow Clones number 1 variant. Again, I'm not too particularly well versed on the variants. This is one of the first Quasars. Like the Marvel Boy Quasar character has 12 first appearances, it seems. So we got a New Mutants #1 in a newsstand and a direct. New Mutants is a weird #1 in that it is the first comic book appearance of the New Mutants and Sunspout, Wolfsbane, Cannonball, and Danny Moonstar. But it doesn't have the same kind of return because their first appearance was in a graphic novel. And so it doesn't have the same kind of oomph that would. Spider-Man #1, Gold Edition, then a couple of these. I swear, I think these were bought from me, to be honest. First meeting of Power Man and Iron Fist. So, some cool little keys. This is when the title changes. Power Man Iron Fist 50. Preview of Carnage. Second printing. Second Carnage. Third Carnage. Another Dazzler. I think those are both errors. Wolverine #1. I have to take a close look at this to see if that is a submittable book. #2 in a newsstand. #3. #7. This one, Spider-Man vs. Wolverine. Not familiar with that. It is a newsstand, though. It's interesting. And Spider-Man 303 newsstand. 304. .305 newsstand. I like this cover. 306. .307. 310. McFarlane. And the one thing, a newsstand, these are fairly plentiful. Certainly in the newsstands, if you can get 9/8, like this one, it does have some, I can see some yellowing at the top, but that is not a bad book to have in a newsstand. 316. First full Venom cover. 317, also newsstand. 318. All these McFarlane covers. 319, 320, 321. I think by this time McFarlane, Amazing Spider-Man also, McFarlane was becoming so popular. These are pretty easy to come by. Well, that's a newsstand. That's one of the better later ones, I think, in terms of value. And then 324, and that does it for the collection. So I have some work cut out for me. Got to spend some time going through this collection, breaking it down, and seeing what the grades are, submitting stuff, and we'll see you on the other side. So we went through all the books. So I want to kind of highlight the books that I'm doing something with. A lot of them just going to be up for sale. There's some pretty good Silver Age stuff. So it had a Spider-Man #1, not a hard book to find, obviously, but it is the second print gold edition. And this is a really sharp copy. I'm probably going to put this into a 9/8 pre-screen. 9/8s are like about $125. So I think especially if you pre-screen it, it's worth that. It's worth it. Another book I probably won't pre-screen. I'm not sure because this book is tough in a 9/8, but it is really sharp. I'm thinking more 9/4, 9/6, which I'd be happy with. Wolverine ongoing series #1. So that's going to go off to CGC. Then I have to make a decision. I'm going to look a little more closely at these 3 books. And they're the Silver Age books just because they're so sharp. And I want to take just a closer look at condition and the fair market value of graded books in that condition. This one is probably the nicest, X-Men 52. I mean, the spine is very clean on that one. So if I do think this is high enough, basically I'd want to be fairly confident that the fair market value when it comes back would be 150 or more. Certainly 200 or more, it makes my decision easier. We go a little bit earlier, another pretty nice copy of X-Men 36. And these aren't huge keys, but in high enough grade, they do command the value. There's a certain point where you get to the grade on these makes it worth submitting because the grade is fairly hard to come by. And then this is another sharp copy. It does have some damage. Hopefully at the top, that overhang crease can be pressed out. Again, that's part of taking a real close look at it. X-Men 21. So just an early issue of X-Men. This is definitely going. It is pretty sharp. And I think it will definitely benefit from a press. And it's Avengers 52. The first appearance of the Grim Reaper. Now, with the upheaval in terms of the Marvel shows at Disney Plus and whether or not the Wonder Man series is going to continue, that could potentially hurt at least the spec value of this book because he is the brother of Wonder Man. Or is he the half-brother? Maybe a full brother. Anyway, there was a little bit of an Easter egg for him in the WandaVision TV series because there is a connection between Wonder Man and Vision, but we don't know if the Wonder Man series is going to be happening, if the Vision Quest series is going to be happening. So it seems, though, there's a lot of uncertainty over at Marvel Studios, so that is making spec a little more difficult. And then a couple of these McFarlane books. This is the first small cover appearance of Venom in Amazing Spider-Man 315, and it is a newsstand. It's very high grade, but I don't yet have the skills to work on whitening. I don't think that would affect the grade too much, but it's a question of if it brings it down enough, is it worth getting graded? You're going to have to take a closer look at that one, but I'll put that to the side. This one is pretty sharp. And it is Amazing Spider-Man 306, this homage to Action Comics #1. And then the last book I'm going to show is just a book I'm going to put in my spec pile because I talk about spec, slab, save, sell. Most of this stuff I'm going to sell. This one I'm going to spec. If you've been watching, I've been picking up this. I've got about 4 copies of this now, and it's Demon #7, the first appearance of Clarion the Witch Boy. I'm not sure if they'll ever use Clarion, but certainly if they go Justice League Dark, if they bring the Demon in, that is a possibility. And I've talked about before on the channel how the animated may influence some of the decision-making that Gunn and Safran will make for the DCU, because those characters have gained some popularity, and Clarion was used in the Young Justice series. There were a lot of characters used in Young Justice. But I do think Young Justice does have some connection with where they might go in the future. Specifically, the big character that I think, because Young Justice does have a fan base and a younger fan base, I think the character to look out for there is Miss Martian. So that is one of the characters I'm interested in getting her early appearances at high grade. So anyway, that is it for the video. Let me know what you think about the collection. So, the nice thing about this collection is there's not really bulk in here. So a lot of this will be going on Whatnot pretty soon. Some of it will be going off to CGC, and not a lot staying in the personal collection. As you saw, a couple of those 4-color books, the movie adaptations, they were definitely books that he had bought from me on Whatnot previously. So they just kind of circled back. So anyway, thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. You can take a look at a couple of my other videos here. And this is Jim saying until next time, enjoy your comics.